So I decided to head up to Underberg today. I took the bike out for a ride. Started off on the N3 to Cater Ridge, joined up onto the R103 from Cater Ridge to Thornville, then left onto the R56 to Richmond, through Richmond, and then took the Hilla tunnel. This is where you catch up with me on the road going down towards the Umkomas River on the Hilla Road. It's a beautiful drive. It was absolutely stunning going through there. The road is not too difficult to drive. Obviously, it wasn't raining or anything like that, but the road was pretty good all the way through. There are some big ruts. I didn't film many of them, but there's some very big ruts in the road, and the motorcycle is vstrom 250 handled it beautifully. River is still quite flooded after all the rains that we've had, but it's cleaned up very nicely, and I can't wait to get out here with a fly rod. Just down river from where I'm standing now looking down, there's a wonderful little place, campgrounds there called Long Pools. Well worth visiting. It won't be long and I'll be down there doing some fishing. There's some good barbel fishing, some good scaly fishing, good carp fishing. Really good. A lovely little spot to get to. Here we start the incline, going up the Hilla Pass. Again, nothing too major going up here. I think anybody could handle this on a decent motorcycle. So you just continue on this road up or out. There's two different options once you get further along the road. You can turn left, 24s, head out towards Copo. I took the right hand fork and I ended up in Donnybrook because I was heading a bit towards Underberg. So head out there along the R16, which then eventually becomes the R612, which eventually becomes the R617. Underberg's also in customers, headed back out along the 617 through Bulwer, down the hill, across the river, and then on to the little road there called the E124, which was absolutely So this place here we used to call Rainbow Pools. We used to fish on the other side there. You see all the birds are flying around there, and yeah, we caught monster yellows in this place. It's really nice. The water's nice and clean. I'm gonna have to make a trip up here again soon. I don't like to come here by myself, but yeah, the yellow fishing here is phenomenal. This down here and a little bit further around the corner, they call this Rainbow Pools. And when we were kids, we used to come down here and catch absolute beasts in this little place. I didn't bring my stuff with, but also I'm scared to sit around here and do nothing. There's just too many scabangas out here. But we're going to go and fish further down the place that I went over earlier on. Okay. Wonderful place. on the P124, which will eventually become the P121, which heads out in the direction of Richmond via Firth, and from gravel, which is 90% of the way, it finally becomes a tar road, the last of the sections before you get into Richmond. But again, this this drive is just stunning. This road beneath here, the 124, sorry, is one of the nicest roads I've driven on in a long time. You got to watch out because there's a lot of loose gravel on a pretty hard surface, so know what you're doing on the corners and that. But other than that, it's absolutely beautiful. Lovely roads to drive on. Very few vehicles. It was one of the few vehicles that had passed, but there wasn't much at all. The roads were clear most of the way. The dirt roads, there was just about zero. I think I saw 2 or 3 vehicles, and on the tar road running this way too. It was very, very quiet. So it was a wonderful, wonderful trip. Once I hit Richmond, back onto the R56 towards Camperdown. Took the turn off at Thornville again, back towards Camperdown, and then stayed on the back road on the R103 through Cater Ridge, through Drummond. This is Monteseal, going through the top of Monteseal. I love this road. It's a lovely road. Down the back through Monteseal, down into Drummond, and then up through Botha's Hill. Absolutely stunning. So I go past one of my favourite little shops there, Twisted Trails. Lovely little motorcycle accessory shop on the top of Botha's Hill there. But yeah, I love this road. Lovely corners and that. But yeah, you just got to be careful on it. one good investment is a good cell phone that you can mount. You can also get proper GPSs and that for motorcycles. So I've just got my cell phone, got Maps.me on there, and they're running not on the internet or anything. It's just on the GPS of the phone, and they're pretty good. And what I like about it is that it forewarns you, so you can see how the bends are going to be before you actually get there. Even the road, you can see where it's going before you actually get there. So keep an eye on that and keep an eye on the road, and you should know how to take those corners. Well, I must say I'm truly impressed with this little bike. I've been up to Underberg today, from Kloof all the way up to Underberg and all the way back again, and most of the road was dirt road. I took all the back roads through Richmond, Hella, and then came back through Bulwa and down through all the back roads there. Fantastic ride, absolutely fantastic. This little thing is just phenomenal. It goes so well on the dirt. Had no issues whatsoever. Had to jump a few potholes and things like that. And things that impressed me is the brakes. But the most impressive thing over all, I don't know if you guys can see it, let me just turn this on, is the fuel consumption. The fuel consumption on here, you can see there 2.6 litres to 100 k's. I got 2 bars left. I filled up here when I left. I still got 2 bars left, and yeah, the brakes are good. The handling is good. It's so light and nimble, and yeah, tires, even the tires are good. I'm quite comfortable on the road, and it just goes like a dream. Couple of things that I don't really like. I think I need to change the handlebars because I think they're a bit low for me, so I need to raise them. The seats, I put this little thing on there, but it's a little bit uncomfortable, but I think that's the thing that's caused it, so I need to change that, maybe get a gel one out. I don't think there's much that I don't like about the bike. It needs a bit more power on hills. You're going up hills, you need to, long hills and that, you need to change up or change down, drop into fifth and go. But yeah, fifth is is about as low as you need to go. It just goes. And then yeah, the other thing I don't like about it, it is pretty uncomfortable driving with this here. If you look at the foot peg, when I put my foot on there, my shoe touches the exhaust. That's quite uncomfortable, and I'm not so keen on the back brakes. They feel a bit soft, but they work, you know, and they do lock up if you need to. I had a couple of run-ins with cars today that I had a lock up on. So the ABS braking is unbelievable. It's phenomenal on this bike. Really, really good. Yeah, in the beginning I had some issues with the clutch. Not so much the clutch, but the gearbox. It was very clunky. So it was clunking in and out of gear. But that seems to have settled in, and it seems to be going okay now. I still have an issue every now and again. If you're dropping from fifth gear into fourth gear, it sort of sticks in the middle. If you don't get it down, it sticks in a neutral. It doesn't happen often, but it's happened a few times. Everything else is quite simple. The mirrors, I'd like to get something a little bit wider than this, a little bit bigger than that, but they're adequate. They're very good. As far as the little windshield is concerned, the windshield, I get a bit of buffering, but you could put an extension on there, but I don't think it's necessary. It's pretty good. The helmet, I've got a cheap helmet, and it is a bit noisy, so I don't think it really makes a difference. But all in all, it's probably one of the nicest bikes I've ridden. It just goes so well. It is. I could use a little bit more power sometimes, but I don't think you need it. I mean, I sat comfortably on the dirt roads at about 90 to 100 k's now. Same on the tar roads. And yeah, as I say, the fuel consumption on this thing is impeccable, absolutely impeccable. I'm gonna fill it up now, and then I'll put it on the little screen to see how much I've actually done. Today's ride, I'm gonna try. I don't know how to do it, but I'm gonna try and work out how to put the map on. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Driving along the side of the river, John, you take as you're coming down from Bulwer, you take I think it's called Lundy's Hill. On the right hand side, you turn right heading towards Richmond, and you drive alongside the river, and then right up through the mountain pass. It was absolutely beautiful. Anyway guys, if you thinking about buying something like this, I highly recommend this bike. It is I don't think there's much more you need. You got enough speed. I was worried about it doing long distances, and it's only a 250, but to do that type of distance that I've done today, yeah, it was comfortable. It wasn't bad at all. Anyway, highly recommended. SX 250 by Suzuki. Thanks for watching. I finally made it back home. Done 470 kilometers today, and it's actually not 2.6 liters, it's 2.5 liters to 100 k's. So yeah, very impressive. I just filled up now. I filled up when I left, but I filled up about 20 k's into the ride, and I just filled up now to the brim. It was 8 liters. 8 liters is what it is. I probably used about another liter on top there. Probably call it 9 liters to do that. It's crazy. This thing is really light.